As we age, every moment becomes increasingly valuable, and the company we choose to keep plays a crucial role in our happiness and overall well-being. Have you ever left a social gathering feeling drained or frustrated, questioning why you even attended? This is a common experience, especially as we reach a stage in life where our time and energy are precious commodities. Today, let's delve into the types of gatherings you might want to steer clear of after turning 60, allowing you to focus on what truly enriches your life. Let's take a look at the story of Martha, a lively woman in her early 70s who thrived on social interactions and meeting new friends. Martha was always excited to attend events, from neighborhood barbecues to book club meetings. However, she often returned home feeling exhausted and unfulfilled. It dawned on her that not all gatherings were created equal, and some left her feeling more drained than delighted. One type of event Martha learned to avoid was those centered around alcohol. She vividly remembers a particular evening at a friend's birthday bash, where the drinks flowed like water. At first, the atmosphere was vibrant and fun, but as the night progressed, conversations grew louder and more chaotic. Martha found herself embroiled in a heated argument that left her feeling uncomfortable and out of place. The next morning, she woke up not only physically tired but emotionally drained. She realized that gatherings where alcohol took center stage often led to misunderstandings and regrets, overshadowing the joy of authentic connections. Martha also discovered the importance of steering clear of gatherings filled with energy-draining individuals. She recalled joining a local gardening club, hoping to share her passion for plants. However, the meetings were dominated by a few members who constantly complained about their lives, turning every discussion into a session of negativity. Instead of feeling inspired, Martha left each meeting feeling weighed down by their pessimism. She decided to seek out groups where members uplifted and supported one another, fostering a positive and encouraging environment. Another type of gathering Martha learned to avoid was those that pressured her into unnecessary spending. She once attended a charity luncheon, only to find it was more about selling overpriced products than supporting a cause. The subtle pressure to buy left her feeling uncomfortable and manipulated. Martha realized that her financial health was just as important as her emotional well-being, and she chose to focus on events that aligned with her values and priorities. Finally, Martha recognized the importance of avoiding gatherings with unrefined company. She remembered a reunion with former colleagues, where the conversation was dominated by bragging and one-upmanship. Instead of enjoying the company of old friends, she felt trapped in a competition of who had achieved more. Martha decided that her time was too valuable to spend with people who lacked the grace and humility to make the experience enjoyable for everyone. Imagine liberating yourself from the stress of toxic gatherings and reclaiming your time for more meaningful connections. By being mindful of the company you keep, you can create a life filled with positivity, purpose, and enriching relationships. Stay with me as we explore each type of gathering, offering practical advice on how to recognize and avoid these energy-draining situations. Let's make the most of every precious moment and focus on what truly matters. If you find value in this video, please like and comment to show your support. And don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Mind Mastery for more valuable insights. Together, we can discover ways to live each day with more peace and joy. Let's embark on this journey of discovery and transformation. 1. Guarding against financial exploitation. In the charming town of Sunnyvale, surrounded by rolling hills and vibrant gardens, lived a retired educator named Dorothy. At 73, Dorothy was a woman of grace and wisdom, having devoted her life to nurturing young minds. Her days were now filled with quiet reflection, often spent tending to the garden she and her late husband had lovingly cultivated. Despite the beauty around her, Dorothy felt a profound sense of loneliness after her husband's passing. Her children, now grown with families of their own, lived in distant cities and visited when they could, but the house felt emptier with each passing day. One crisp autumn morning, as Dorothy wandered through the local farmer's market, she met a lively woman named Jennifer. With a warm smile and an infectious laugh, Jennifer struck up a conversation with Dorothy, sharing stories about the town and its vibrant community life. Sensing Dorothy's loneliness, Jennifer extended an invitation to join a local social club that met weekly at the community center. She painted a picture of lively gatherings filled with laughter, friendship, and a sense of belonging. Eager to fill the void in her life, Dorothy accepted the invitation, hopeful for the companionship she so deeply craved. The club meetings were everything Jennifer had promised and more. Held in a cozy room adorned with cheerful decorations, the gatherings buzzed with activity and joy. Members, mostly around Dorothy's age, shared stories, played games, and organized outings to local attractions. The air was filled with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and homemade treats, and each meeting ended with small gifts like handmade crafts or jars of jam. Dorothy felt a warmth and acceptance she hadn't experienced in years, quickly becoming a regular attendee and cherishing the newfound friendships. However, as the seasons changed, so did the nature of the gatherings. What began as friendly social meetings gradually shifted focus. The club leaders, who had become trusted friends, started introducing health and wellness products during the meetings. They spoke passionately about the benefits of various supplements and devices, claiming they were essential for maintaining vitality and health in later years. Personal success stories and testimonials from other members were shared, creating an atmosphere of trust and urgency. Dorothy, always health-conscious, found herself intrigued by the promises of these products. The leaders emphasized their exclusivity and offered special discounts to club members, framing the purchases as investments in well-being. Feeling subtle pressure to conform and not wanting to seem ungrateful for the kindness she had received, Dorothy began purchasing small items, a bottle of herbal supplements here, a health gadget there. As weeks turned into months, Dorothy's spending on these products increased. Her modest pension, once sufficient for her needs, began to stretch thin. The products which promised so much started piling up in her home, unused and unnecessary. Despite her growing doubts, Dorothy continued to buy, driven by the fear of losing the friendships she had come to value so deeply. It wasn't until the holiday season, when her daughter Emily came to visit, that the full extent of the situation became clear. Emily was shocked to find stacks of unopened boxes and gadgets cluttering her mother's home. Concerned, she gently questioned Dorothy about the purchases. As they talked, Dorothy realized how deeply she had been manipulated by the very people she thought were her friends. Feeling a mix of embarrassment and betrayal, Dorothy confided in Emily about the pressure she felt to buy these products. Emily, understanding the emotional vulnerability her mother had experienced, reassured her that true friends would never exploit her trust in such a way. Together, they devised a plan to address the situation, starting with Dorothy stepping back from the club and seeking out more genuine, supportive social connections. Dorothy's story is a poignant reminder of the importance of safeguarding our emotional and financial well-being, especially in our later years. It highlights the need to be cautious of gatherings that prey on loneliness and vulnerability, offering companionship at the cost of financial security. By seeking support from trusted family and friends, and by being mindful of the intentions behind seemingly generous offers, we can protect ourselves and our loved ones from those who would exploit our desire for connection. Determined to reclaim her life, Dorothy began attending a different community group focused on shared interests like gardening and book discussions. These gatherings were free from the pressure to buy, centered instead on genuine connection and mutual support. Dorothy found joy in these new friendships, where the only expectation was to share laughter and stories. Through her experience, Dorothy learned the value of discernment and the importance of surrounding herself with people who truly cared for her well-being. Her journey serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of authentic relationships to heal and uplift. As we navigate the complexities of aging, Dorothy's story encourages us to cherish connections that enrich our lives and to remain vigilant against those who seek to exploit our vulnerabilities. 2. Embracing refined living. As we grow older, particularly after the age of 60, our time, peace, and well-being become increasingly precious. At this stage in life, we deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift and respect us, those who understand the value of kindness, empathy, and shared joy. Yet, in many social gatherings, whether they are reunions with former classmates, meetups with old colleagues, or hobby groups, there are often individuals who bring nothing but stress and unnecessary tension. These gatherings, instead of being joyful, turn into burdens simply because certain people lack the grace or humility to make the experience enjoyable for everyone. Consider the dynamics of a typical gathering. Many small details need attention, like deciding the meeting time and place, agreeing on menus, and organizing costs if necessary. Ideally, such tasks are managed harmoniously, with everyone pitching in to make the gathering as smooth and enjoyable as possible. However, this is rarely the reality in groups where unrefined individuals are involved. Instead of working together, some people impose their preferences, often ignoring the needs or comfort of others. They insist on times and locations that fit only their schedule, disregarding everyone else. They might dictate meal choices without considering the dietary needs or preferences of other group members. This selfishness can be exhausting, particularly when you're simply looking for a peaceful, enjoyable experience. Then there are those whose manner of speaking or behavior makes everyone uncomfortable. Perhaps because they feel a sense of familiarity from years past, they throw around harsh words and rude comments, thinking that friends since childhood means they can act however they like. Some even bring outdated workplace attitudes, treating others as if they're subordinates rather than friends. They expect others to defer to them, assuming that their previous role as a boss or senior colleague grants them authority in social gatherings too. But at this stage of life, gatherings should be about camaraderie, not power dynamics. It's frustrating and disheartening to witness these people tarnish what should be moments of shared happiness. In hobby groups, where people come together over shared passions, you would hope for warmth and camaraderie. Yet even here, some individuals attend with hidden agendas, using these gatherings as platforms for self-promotion or personal gain, rather than to foster genuine connection. They might try to exploit relationships, seeking favors or opportunities without any intention of giving back. This lack of authenticity is not only disappointing but also wears on your spirit over time. To illustrate, consider the story of Robert, a retired architect who joined a local painting club. Robert was passionate about capturing the beauty of landscapes and looked forward to sharing his work with like-minded individuals. Initially, the club meetings were a source of joy filled with discussions about techniques and shared experiences. However, Robert soon noticed that a few members dominated the conversations, constantly boasting about their expensive materials and exclusive exhibitions. These individuals rarely showed interest in others' work, focusing instead on their own achievements. Robert found himself feeling increasingly disheartened as the club became less about shared passion and more about competition and self-promotion. It's easy to think that wealth, a good job, or fancy clothes might indicate refinement, but true class has nothing to do with outward appearance or material success. Refinement comes from within. It's the ability to respect others, to listen, and to engage with kindness and humility. Many dress impeccably or boast of high positions, yet lack even the basic decency to consider others' feelings. And there are people seemingly oblivious to their behavior, who are incapable of self-reflection, unable to look back on their actions and see how they impact those around them. For those of us over 60, gatherings should bring a sense of ease and warmth, not stress and discomfort. Time spent with others should be uplifting, offering a sense of companionship and joy. If you find that a gathering consistently leaves you feeling drained, or that certain individuals make you feel unseen or unappreciated, it's worth considering whether that group is truly serving your well-being. Ask yourself, is it worth the emotional and financial cost to participate in gatherings where your peace is compromised? Choosing not to engage with unrefined individuals isn't about elitism. It's about protecting your mental and emotional health. There is immense value in surrounding yourself with a few good people, individuals who genuinely care and who make you feel comfortable and respected. These are the people who lift you, who bring laughter and lightness into your life, and who remind you that even in small groups, you can find joy and companionship. Life is too short, especially as we grow older, to waste it on people who bring negativity and selfishness into our world. Seek those gatherings where you feel valued, where mutual respect reigns, and where you can relax knowing you're among friends who truly understand the beauty of shared moments. This ultimately is the essence of refined living in our later years. By focusing on quality over quantity in our social interactions, we can cultivate a life filled with meaningful connections and genuine happiness. As Robert eventually did by finding a smaller group of artists who shared his love for nature and valued each other's contributions, we too can seek out environments that nurture our spirits and enrich our lives. 3. Avoiding alcohol-centric gatherings. As we age, the importance of meaningful social connections becomes increasingly apparent. Social gatherings offer a chance to break from routine, share laughter, and create cherished memories. However, not all gatherings are created equal, and some can leave us feeling drained rather than fulfilled. This is particularly true for events centered around alcohol, which can subtly shift the dynamics of a gathering and impact our well-being. Consider the story of a couple in their late 60s who regularly attended alumni gatherings from the husband's high school. These meetups were initially a source of joy, allowing them to reconnect with old friends and form new bonds over shared interests. However, during an overnight retreat, the introduction of alcohol changed the atmosphere dramatically. What began as a wholesome dinner quickly turned into a night of heated debates and regrettable actions, leaving a lasting impact on the group's dynamics. The once vibrant and supportive circle eventually dissolved, tainted by the events of that alcohol-fueled evening. This story highlights the potential pitfalls of alcohol-centric gatherings, especially as we grow older. Alcohol, often seen as a social lubricant, can blur communication and lead to misunderstandings. It can transform a pleasant gathering into a tense environment where words spoken in the heat of the moment can damage relationships. As we age, our social circles become more precious, and the risk of creating rifts in these relationships is a significant concern. Moreover, the physical effects of alcohol become more pronounced with age. Our bodies process alcohol differently, and what might have been a minor indulgence in our younger years can have more significant consequences now. This includes not only the immediate effects of a hangover, but also the longer-term impacts on our health and well-being. It's crucial to be mindful of these changes and to prioritize our health in all aspects of our lives, including our social interactions. Choosing to attend gatherings that focus on genuine connection rather than alcohol can lead to more fulfilling and enriching experiences. These gatherings can be centered around shared interests, hobbies, or simply the joy of each other's company. They provide an opportunity to engage in meaningful conversations, to learn from one another, and to build deeper, more authentic relationships. By prioritizing these types of interactions, we can create a supportive and nurturing social environment that enhances our quality of life. Reflecting on the impact of alcohol-centric gatherings, it's important to recognize how they can subtly influence our social dynamics. Alcohol can lead to situations where words are spoken that cannot be taken back, and actions are taken that might not align with our true intentions. This can create rifts in relationships that are difficult to mend, especially as we age and our social circles become more precious. To further illustrate this point, consider the story of Nancy, a retired chef who loved hosting dinner parties for her friends. Nancy was known for her culinary skills and her ability to bring people together. Her gatherings were always filled with laughter and good food. However, she noticed that whenever alcohol was involved, the atmosphere changed. One evening, during a particularly lively party, a small disagreement between two guests escalated into a heated argument, fueled by the wine they had consumed. The tension lingered long after the party ended, and Nancy found herself mediating between friends who had once been close. Determined to prevent such incidents in the future, Nancy decided to host alcohol-free gatherings. She introduced themed dinners where the focus was on the cuisine and the stories behind each dish. Her friends were initially skeptical, but they soon discovered that the absence of alcohol led to more engaging conversations and a more relaxed atmosphere. Nancy's gatherings became a haven for genuine connection, where friendships were strengthened rather than strained. In conclusion, while alcohol-centric gatherings may seem appealing at first, it's important to consider their potential impact on our relationships and well-being. By choosing to focus on gatherings that prioritize genuine connection and mutual respect, we can create a more positive and fulfilling social life. This shift in focus can lead to stronger, more meaningful relationships that enrich our lives and support our overall well-being. So as you navigate your social calendar, consider the value of gatherings that truly uplift and inspire you, and make choices that align with your values and priorities. Ultimately, the goal is to create a life filled with positivity, purpose, and enriching connections. By being mindful of the gatherings we choose to attend, we can ensure that our social interactions contribute to our happiness and well-being rather than detract from it. As we age, every moment becomes more precious, and the company we keep significantly impacts our happiness and well-being. By avoiding alcohol-centric gatherings, we can focus on building relationships that truly matter, ensuring that our later years are filled with joy and fulfillment. 4. Avoiding energy vampires, embracing positive connections in later life. As we age, our priorities often shift towards seeking fulfillment, peace, and meaningful connections. We aim to surround ourselves with people who uplift and inspire us. A crucial step in achieving this is by consciously avoiding gatherings that drain our energy, particularly those involving so-called energy vampires. These individuals, whether intentionally or not, seem to sap the joy, strength, and enthusiasm from those around them, leaving us feeling emotionally exhausted and disheartened. Consider a typical neighborhood group where people, mostly in their 60s and 70s, gather to catch up. These meetings, often held at local restaurants or cafes, appear friendly on the surface. Members contribute monthly fees to cover the costs of these outings, which seem like a great opportunity to reconnect and share life updates. However, what begins as a well-intentioned social gathering can quickly devolve into a competition of excessive bragging and unsolicited negativity. Conversations often revolve around whose children have achieved the most, whose grandchildren attend prestigious schools, or who receive the most extravagant gifts. One person might proudly share how her son surprised her with a gold necklace, while another boasts tearfully about her granddaughter's acceptance to an elite university. Instead of fostering empathy and connection, the group dynamic shifts into an exhausting exercise of one-upmanship, where everyone tries to outshine the last story. For some, it may feel as if their value lies solely in their family members' achievements, turning the gathering into a social obligation rather than a source of genuine connection. Amid these tales of pride, other conversations may turn to darker, more somber aspects of life. Some members might share deeply personal and troubling updates, such as a spouse's ongoing illness, a child's failed business, or their health struggles. These heavy stories can quickly weigh down the group, adding layers of sadness and frustration that linger for days. Rather than feeling supported, attendees may leave these gatherings burdened with negativity, passed around as casually as an appetizer. One woman in her mid-60s, who has reluctantly attended such gatherings in her neighborhood for over 3 decades, often comes away feeling not only exhausted but also deeply resentful. She describes feeling trapped in a cycle where each meeting fills her with frustration and sadness, clouding her mood for days afterward. Despite her long-standing membership, she has finally realized that her emotional well-being is far more valuable than maintaining these connections out of tradition. After this year, she plans to step back from attending these meetings, acknowledging that she deserves more from her social interactions, real friendships that bring comfort, positivity, and mutual respect. This woman's experience is sadly not unique. Many of us have encountered energy vampires, individuals so consumed with their own lives that they remain oblivious to how their actions and words affect others. For them, these gatherings are a stage to indulge in their own experiences without concern for anyone else's feelings or perspectives. Whether they're unaware of the harm they cause or simply indifferent to it, their behavior drains those around them, leaving a lingering sense of depletion. It's a burden that becomes harder to bear as we age, and at a time when peace and happiness should be our guiding priorities, it's crucial to recognize the value of our time and energy. In our later years, every precious moment should be filled with people who make us feel valued, seen, and appreciated. This stage of life deserves relationships that allow us to walk away feeling lighter, happier, and deeply understood. As our time becomes increasingly precious, it is essential to guard it fiercely, reserving it for people and experiences that nourish our souls. Our energy is finite, and there's no reason to spend it in situations where we are merely enduring rather than thriving. If you find yourself at gatherings that leave you feeling more drained than delighted, consider stepping back. Embrace the idea that friendship should be mutual havens, not battlegrounds for attention or sources of uninvited negativity. Cherish connections that bring warmth, positivity, and encouragement. Life is far too short to spend with people who cannot respect and reciprocate the kindness and empathy we give. As you protect your peace, you may find that by letting go of energy-draining gatherings, you open space for new friendships that bring joy, laughter, and lightness to your heart. To further illustrate the impact of energy vampires, imagine a scenario where you attend a family reunion. These events are meant to be joyful occasions, filled with laughter and shared memories. However, there's always that one relative who dominates the conversation with tales of their own success, never pausing to ask about others' lives. They might not realize it, but their self-centeredness creates an atmosphere where others feel undervalued and overlooked. Instead of leaving the reunion feeling connected and happy, you might find yourself drained and wishing you had spent your time elsewhere. The concept of energy vampires isn't limited to social gatherings. They can appear in various aspects of life, including the workplace. Picture a colleague who constantly complains about their workload, never acknowledging the efforts of others. Their negativity can spread like wildfire, affecting team morale and productivity. In such environments, it's crucial to set boundaries and focus on maintaining a positive outlook, ensuring that your energy is directed towards constructive and rewarding interactions. In personal relationships, energy vampires can manifest as friends or partners who are perpetually in crisis mode. They might rely on you for emotional support without reciprocating when you need it. Over time, this imbalance can lead to resentment and fatigue. It's important to communicate openly about your needs and establish a more balanced dynamic where both parties feel supported and valued. As we navigate these challenges, it's helpful to cultivate self-awareness and mindfulness. Recognizing the signs of energy depletion allows us to take proactive steps to protect our well-being. This might involve practicing self-care, such as meditation or exercise, to recharge our emotional batteries. Additionally, seeking out communities or groups that align with our values and interests can provide a sense of belonging and fulfillment. Ultimately, the goal is to create a life filled with meaningful connections and experiences. By prioritizing relationships that bring joy and positivity, we can enhance our overall quality of life. This doesn't mean cutting ties with everyone who exhibits negative behavior, but rather being selective about where we invest our time and energy. Surrounding ourselves with people who inspire and uplift us can lead to a more fulfilling and enriched life. In conclusion, avoiding energy vampires is about more than just steering clear of negativity. It's about embracing a lifestyle that prioritizes emotional well-being and meaningful connections. As we age, our time becomes increasingly valuable, and it's essential to spend it wisely. By focusing on relationships that nurture our spirit and bring out the best in us, we can create a life that is not only fulfilling but also deeply rewarding. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've embarked on together. These precious years are meant to be filled with enriching connections and uplifting experiences, surrounded by people who truly value and respect you. We've explored the importance of choosing gatherings that enhance our well-being, avoiding those that drain our energy or compromise our peace. It's about creating a life where every interaction brings joy and fulfillment, where we are uplifted by the company we keep. Throughout this discussion, we've delved into the significance of surrounding ourselves with individuals who understand the value of kindness, empathy, and shared joy. We've talked about steering clear of energy vampires and unrefined company, and the importance of prioritizing our mental and emotional health. These insights are not just theoretical, they are practical steps we can take to ensure our later years are as vibrant and fulfilling as possible. So, I'd love to hear from you. What has stood out to you most? Perhaps it's the realization that you deserve to be in environments that nurture your spirit, or maybe it's the understanding that true refinement comes from within, not from outward appearances. What's one thing you've learned from this video that you'll bring into practice in your own life? How will you ensure that your social interactions contribute positively to your happiness and well-being? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. Your experiences and insights are invaluable, not just to me, but to everyone in our community. By sharing, you contribute to a collective wisdom that can inspire and guide others on their journey. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, like, and share it with others who might benefit from these insights. And don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Mind Mastery for more content like this, where we explore ways to live each day with more peace and joy. Thank you for being here, for your engagement, and for your commitment to living a life filled with positivity and purpose. Here's to embracing each day with open hearts and minds, and to creating a future where we are surrounded by love, respect, and genuine connection.